Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. If you are not new, if you're a viewer of my channel already, then you know that I am obsessed with tretinoin. I have an unhealthy obsession with all things tret because it's easily the single most transformative ingredient that I've ever used in my skincare routine. And because I talk about that 24/7 basically, I'm often asked where I recommend getting a tretinoin prescription from, because you do need a prescription. It's not something that you could just pick up at Sephora or Ulta or the drugstore. And lucky for you guys, I have now officially tested out 5 of the most popular methods or services for getting access to tretinoin, including Curology, Agency, Apostrophe, GoodRx, and the Dermatologist. So I am going to break down the differences between all of those different avenues for getting access to tretinoin in today's video, including how much each of those options cost, how they work, which ingredients you will have access to with each, which skincare concerns they are best for, and my personal experience in using each of them, so that by the end of this video, you will be able to figure out which of these 5 options is going to be the best fit for your skin and your just, I guess, I don't know, entire life. We're gonna help you to figure out which is the best fit for you. Why did I have to make that so weird? So whether you're somebody that's interested in testing out tretinoin for the first time, or you're wondering if the service that you're currently using is the best fit for you, or maybe you're just trying to find the cheapest option or most hassle-free option, I've got you covered. We're gonna talk about all of that in today's video. But before we jump into it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and drop a comment below letting me know how you are doing today. I hope you're all doing great. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really does help to support me with the YouTube algorithm, so that's why I say it in the intro of every video, and I appreciate you so much for doing that. And if you need anything from me at all, check out my description box below. As always, I have Lightroom preset filters for editing your Instagram photos, my SPF merch, timestamps, discount codes, and links to my favorite beauty products of all time. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, let's start off with Curology first. I feel like we have to, because I don't know about you guys, but Curology is definitely the first brand that I ever heard of that offered this type of thing, where you could do a digital visit with a dermatology provider and get access to these prescription strength ingredients that historically you could only get through going to the dermatologist in person. So feels only right to start off with Curology. In general, I would say Curology definitely presents themselves as a brand that is going to be a solution for acne. They do talk about a few different concerns that they can help you to tackle through the use of their prescription strength products, but they all go hand in hand with breakouts. So those concerns are acne, dark spots or hyperpigmentation, and redness. So there's actually 2 different types of formulas that Curology offers. The first is called their dark spot formula, and that formula includes ingredients like hydroquinone and hydrocortisone. But because we're really focused on tretinoin for this video, we are going to just kind of exclude that from the conversation and focus on the other formula that they have, which is called their custom bottle. That is where you will get access to tretinoin and other ingredients that are typically prescribed to fight acne. But I wanted to let you know that in case you were interested in those other ingredients, you can get them through Curology just through that dark spot formula. There's a lot of different ingredients that you may end up with in your custom bottle formula, but each custom bottle is going to contain 3 main ingredients that are really designed to help to fight acne. So of course, one of those is tretinoin, but there's a lot of others as well, like clindamycin, azelaic acid, zinc pyrithione, niacinamide, tranexamic acid, amongst others. Okay, let's talk about how all of this actually works now and how you can get that custom bottle formula shipped right to your door. It's actually super easy, and it's pretty much the exact same process with all of these online services that I've tried. First, you'll take a skincare quiz, and in that quiz, they'll ask you a lot of questions about your skincare history. So any conditions that you've had in the past or may currently have, oral medications that you've tried for your skin, topical products you've tried for your skin. They'll ask about your skin concerns and the goals that you have for your skin moving forward. They'll also have you upload some photos of your skin so that the dermatology provider can take a look at that, combine that with the answers to your quiz to come up with the best formula for you. The last thing that I want to make sure I am mentioning as it relates to this quiz is that at the end, there will be a box where you can ask questions or leave any additional comments and concerns that you may have. And that is where, for all of these services, I will tell the provider that I want a prescription for tretinoin, because you're not guaranteed a prescription to that ingredient. And if the main reason why you're using one of these services is to get tretinoin, that would be very frustrating if you were sent a formula that didn't have that ingredient in it, because it could be a different combination of ingredients. So I have always said I've already been prescribed tretinoin in X percentage from my dermatologist, or for some of these others, I've said I'm already using tretinoin from a different online service. It's working really well for me. I want to continue to use that ingredient. I want to make sure that that is in my formula that you prescribe at the same amount. Or maybe if the amount's not working for you, you can let them know that and say, I want to try a higher strength or lower strength, anything like that. Every time that I have done that, I have been prescribed tretinoin. So I just wanted to make sure I was giving that tip, because that's really the whole point of this video, is how to get tret. And that's really all there is to it. It's super easy. This is sounding like an ad. None of this video is sponsored. I mean, you guys know I would tell you if it was, but I feel like I should just say that. It really is a super quick and easy process. Then they will prescribe you your custom bottle formula. For the first month, you do get a free trial through Curology, but you just have to pay for shipping, and that shipping cost is $4.95. So $4.95 for the first month of Curology. From there, they will automatically send you a refill every 2 months for $39.90, including shipping. So it's about $20 a month for Curology, but they just charge you every 2 months. And they do offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy with your results, within 90 days, they do offer you a full refund, which is nice. Probably not for the $4.95 shipping, but for everything else. So overall, I had a very positive experience in using Curology. I really don't have any complaints or concerns about the service, how it works, the ingredients that you get. All of that was great. The issue for me was just that the formula that I was prescribed was too intense for my skin, and that can happen through Curology, through agency, through any of these services, or if you just go to a dermatologist. So it's not a fault of Curology. This is just what happens when you're trying prescription strength ingredients. Your skin will often have a strong response to that. You'll often have irritation when you're first testing them out. It really is trial and error to figure out what is going to work the best for your skin, what's going to help to solve those concerns that you have, but also be something that your skin can tolerate. So my first prescription from Curology included tretinoin, clindamycin, and azelaic acid, and my skin was not okay. It was not okay. It was bright red all the time. I basically had like a burn on my face at all times. Red, flaking, really scaly, and just like, you know, classic skin barrier damage. It was terrible. So I let the Curology provider know that it wasn't working for me. I sent them photos of how irritated my skin was, and they were really good at coming up with a new solution for me. So that's something that's great. If you're not loving your results or your formula is not working for you, you can just tell your provider and they will adjust it as needed. So then after that, my second prescription from them had tretinoin, azelaic acid, and niacinamide. So they swapped out the clindamycin for niacinamide, and they also lowered the amount of tret that I was prescribed just so that my skin could kind of bounce back and get back to normal before I then kind of step it back up a notch, because I still wanted to be on that 0.1% tretinoin, since that's what I was using prior to Curology from my derm. But again, it was just the combination of these ingredients that wasn't quite working. So went back to that, and then my skin was really happy with that combination and I didn't have any issues. So I really enjoyed my experience with Curology. I'm not using it anymore because I then went to agency next. So let's talk about agency. If you're not familiar with agency, they are actually owned by Curology. So that kind of gives you a hint as to how this works, which is basically in the exact same way. But agency is like the big sister to Curology, because where Curology is really focused on treating acne, agency is really focused on treating signs of aging. So on their website, they say that the main concerns that they target are wrinkles, dark spots, fine lines, texture, and firmness. Just like Curology, agency also offers 2 different types of formulas, and they have a dark spot formula where you can get access to ingredients like hydroquinone and hydrocortisone. So again, for the purpose of this video, we will exclude that from the conversation, but that is also an option to you through agency. Their other formula is called the Future formula, and in that you will get 4 main ingredients instead of 3 with Curology. Those ingredients include tretinoin, azelaic acid, niacinamide, provitamin B5, and tranexamic acid. So all great ingredients for the skin, of course, and some overlap with the ingredients that you can get at Curology, but at the same time, there are ingredients that you can't get at agency that you can at Curology, like clindamycin, for example. So if you are trying to get a prescription for tretinoin, not only for anti-aging, but also for acne, and tretinoin is not enough to clear up that acne for you and you need something like clindamycin, then agency is not going to have that available, and I would definitely go the Curology route instead. But if you don't have acne or tretinoin is enough to keep your skin clear from breakouts, then Agency is an awesome option that I would personally go for, because then you're getting 4 of those amazing ingredients in one versus just the 3 in Curology. And I should say that that doesn't necessarily mean that that's better for your skin. I've talked about that a lot on my channel before. More is not always better when it comes to skincare, but I really love all 4 of the ingredients that are in my Agency prescription, and I feel like it just makes my skin look amazing. So that's why that's kind of my preference over Curology at this point, because I'm not using clindamycin or those other acne fighting ingredients. Same exact process with Agency as Curology for taking the quiz and uploading your photos in order to get your prescription. From there, they also have the same 30-day free trial where you're only paying $4.95 for shipping. After that, they also will automatically send you your refill every 2 months, but the cost is $60 versus $40. So adds up to $30 a month versus the $20 a month with Curology. The difference here is that you can add on that dark spot formula with your future formula for $92 total every 2 months. So that saves you about $10 and is $46 a month. So depends on what you're looking for. And they also do have a 90-day money back guarantee. My experience with Agency really has been amazing. That is why I've recommended it to you guys so many times before. Over the last few months, I have tried out a couple of other options for the sake of this video, but prior to that, Agency was all that I was using exclusively for over a year, and I absolutely loved it. I feel like this formula is just perfect for my skin. It really, really works wonders in my opinion. So mine includes 0.1% tretinoin, 5% azelaic acid, 5% tranexamic acid, and 4% niacinamide. I feel like it's just a magic little combination of ingredients all in one bottle. I love it. So definitely would recommend Agency. Let's move along to the next. Out of the 3 remaining methods that we're going to be talking through, this one right here is definitely the most comparable to Agency and Curology, and that is the brand Apostrophe. Apostrophe says that they target concerns like breakouts, hormonal acne, dark spots, redness, and textures. So I would say most similar to Curology in the way that they present themselves as a brand. So Apostrophe calls their prescription a custom topical formula, and something that's a little bit different about it is that it has these default ingredients that will be in every custom topical formula no matter what, and those ingredients include 4% niacinamide, aloe, and vitamin E. Aloe and vitamin E just hydrate and condition the skin. Aloe may calm the skin a little bit, so nothing super noteworthy there, but the 4% niacinamide is definitely kind of a standout difference between Apostrophe and Agency and Curology, because you may not get niacinamide in your formula if you go down one of those avenues. And then aside from that, they have a ton of different ingredients that you may be prescribed. So tretinoin, of course, benzoyl peroxide, clindamycin, azelaic acid. So a lot of ingredients that you can get through Curology and Agency. But on top of that, they actually have even more that you cannot get from either of those brands. A couple of those ingredients including tazarotene, did I just say that? Including tazarotene and spironolactone. Apostrophe has an extensive list on their website of all of the ingredients that you will have access to if you choose this brand, and something that you'll probably notice is that it's not just topical ingredients, it's also oral medications as well. So that is a key differentiator between Apostrophe and these other brands. You can also get oral medications prescribed to you in addition to your topical prescription or in place of that. So that's going to be huge for a lot of people, because I know that those with stubborn acne often need more than just that topical prescription to really get rid of acne, and those topicals are not always enough. They really need a combination of both oral medications and topical prescriptions to fully kick that to the curb. So while that's not going to be relevant for everyone, I know that for some people that will be really important and definitely would be a reason to choose Apostrophe over these others. Same process for getting your prescription from Apostrophe as these other online services. Quiz, photos, very straightforward. Couple of differences though regarding payment and kind of their process here. From what I'm seeing on their website, there is no free trial with Apostrophe in the way that there is with Curology and Agency, and they also don't have a refund policy or a money back guarantee like those brands do. So if that's important to you to be able to get your money back or to try it out for a reduced price for the first month, then Apostrophe will not be the brand for you. Apostrophe automatically ships and bills you every 3 months versus 2, and the cost is $90, so breaks down to $25 a month. So Apostrophe is actually the brand that I'm currently using, and the reason why I wanted to test this out and pause on Agency is because I really wanted to try topical spironolactone. That's an ingredient that helps to suppress androgen production, which is one of the hormones that contributes to breakouts. So it's something that is often prescribed for hormonal acne, which is the type of acne that a lot of us end up getting in our mid to late 20s. That happens around the chin jawline region. I think mine started when I was like 21. Lucky me. And from what I was reading, spironolactone only recently became available via topical medication within the past few years. I was actually prescribed spironolactone from my derm several years ago before I even started using tretinoin, but at the time it was only available via oral medication. And I almost started taking it because I was really struggling with my skin at the time, but I was reading through side effects and I remember seeing that it makes you pee a lot. And for those of you that know me personally, that simply can't happen to me because I already do that. So that would be my worst nightmare. So I was like, let's just try out tretinoin and see if that helps, and thankfully it solved the majority of the problem. I really do have my breakouts mostly under control with tretinoin, but not completely. So I still do get breakouts if I eat a lot of sugar and or around my cycle, and while it's not a big deal and it's definitely not as bad as it used to be, I also would like rather not get breakouts, you know, if I can help it. So that is why I wanted to test this out to see if that would help to get rid of that. I mean, I still don't think anything will completely get rid of it for me, but if I'm like this close to never having a breakout, that's good enough for me. So it has not been long enough yet for me to let you guys know what I think about that ingredient, because you have to use it for about 3 months before you really see transformative results. So I'll keep you guys posted if that really helps my breakouts even more. But so far so good. It's another service that I've had a positive experience with that I would recommend. There's really no difference between Apostrophe, Agency, and Curology when it comes to how you get your prescription and how it's shipped to your door. All of that, like the process is the same behind all of these services. There's just some slight differences in ingredients and price point. Now let's talk about GoodRx, which is something you may have heard of before because pharmacists, at least pharmacists that I have visited and interacted with, will often recommend looking up prescriptions on GoodRx to get a coupon and to get money off. GoodRx actually has something called GoodRx Care, which is basically another online service for getting prescriptions kind of in the same way as these other brands, but not in the exact same way. So GoodRx does offer solutions for acne treatment and prevention, amongst other things. You could actually get a prescription for birth control or mental health medications through GoodRx Care as well. So it's a little bit different in that way, where it's kind of more, not a full service online doctor visit, but more comprehensive than these other brands, which are really just focused on either acne or anti-aging. And when it comes to the ingredients that you can get through GoodRx, it's the same as any prescription strength ingredients that you could get through your dermatologist. So that includes tretinoin, clindamycin, benzoyl peroxide, etc. The difference here is that you're not going to be getting other ingredients in your formula in the way that you will with the 3 other services that we just talked about. So you're not getting a combination of ingredients like tretinoin and niacinamide and azelaic acid. You're just going to be prescribed something like tretinoin, and that's it. Not to say that you may not get a couple different prescriptions from them, but they're not creating these custom formulas with combinations of ingredients, including both active ingredients and inactive ingredients that will benefit your skin, if that makes sense. GoodRx will also ask you some questions about your skin in order to get your prescription, and they actually will text you within minutes of filling out that questionnaire, and you can get your prescription the same day, which is really nice. I believe with these other services, it's within a couple of days, so very quick as well. but if you're like, I just need this instantly and you can't wait a day, I mean, GoodRx will do that for you. So while GoodRx is kind of more doctory than these other services, you can't use insurance with it. So if you're wondering like, oh, could I get more money off if I used insurance? No, you cannot. What you do is you pay for a monthly membership. So they have something called a gold membership that is $9.99 for an individual each month. I believe they have family plans starting at like $19.99 a month. And you also pay for an initial visit, which costs $19. So that's that like initial consultation with the dermatologist. They also offer a 30-day free trial of this service. So if you're not happy with it after that, you can cancel it. For some reason, I was only charged $5.99 for the first 4 months, and then it went up to $9.99. So I don't know if that used to be the monthly fee and now they've just increased it, or if everybody's charged less for the first few months. I'm not really sure, but it's supposed to be $10 a month now for this. The difference here is that you're not shipped this prescription automatically like you are with these other services, unless maybe you set that up through your pharmacy. The insurance that I'm on does not let me do that now. Can I tell you, paying for your own insurance when you're self-employed? No, I don't actually want to talk about it. It's not fun. So even though I pay an arm and a leg, I can't get my prescriptions sent to me like I used to when I was able to use CVS when I was insured through Target, unfortunately. So that means if you go down this route and your pharmacy does not ship you prescriptions, you will have to go pick it up, which is something that makes this a little bit more of a hassle, and you do pay for this prescription at the pharmacy. So this right here is what I was prescribed, which is just 0.1% tretinoin cream. It's a 20-gram tube, which costs about $30. I think it was like $31. And this is gonna last you around 2 to 3 months. So that means that this could be anywhere from $30 to $40 a month, depending on how long this lasts you, including that $10 a month membership. So I haven't had any issues with GoodRx. I think it still is a really solid option for getting tretinoin. It's just not my personal favorite compared to these other online options. Number one, because you have to go pick it up. It's something you have to think about. It's an errand. You don't have to do that with any of the other ones that we talked about. And also, again, you're not getting those custom formulas with the other great ingredients. This is just tretinoin, and I really do think that my skin benefits from the combination of ingredients in those bottles. So again, solid option, not my personal favorite. All right, and the very last option, of course, is just to go the traditional route, not do this whole online thing, and go visit your dermatologist in person. Obviously, because it's not an online service, there's no quiz, there's none of that. Very different process, but there's a couple things I wanted to bring up as just things to think about if you're trying to figure out if you just want to go to your derm or do the online thing. The first thing to keep in mind is that your derm may not prescribe you tretinoin. I know that I have had friends that have told me that they've gone to their derm, they've asked for a tret prescription, and their derm will not prescribe it to them. So keep that in mind if that is what you're trying to get. You're not guaranteed to get a prescription to that from your derm. The second is that if they do prescribe it to you, but you don't have acne, so you're just getting a prescription for anti-aging reasons, insurance will not cover the cost of that. And that means you're going to be paying a crap ton of money for that prescription when you pick it up from the pharmacy. I actually saw a comment from one of you guys on my TikTok saying that wasn't covered by insurance and you had to pay $300 for a tube. No. If you are prescribed it for acne, insurance will cover that, but a lot of the times only if you have tested out other ingredients first and proven that they didn't work for you. So that's not always going to be the case. You may get lucky if you have really good insurance, but I know for me, I had to be prescribed other things from my dermatologist first to kind of prove that they failed, if you will, to prove that I needed tretinoin so that insurance would cover it. Then at that point, if you're getting a prescription for acne and insurance is covering it, the price is going to depend on your insurance plan, of course, your copay situation. I believe that I paid about $30 for a 45-gram tube, so double the size of this, and that tube will last you around 4 to 6 months. So that's definitely a less expensive option, but that's after you go through that whole entire process. And then obviously you're paying for the cost of the dermatologist visit as well. Okay, now that we have talked through all 5 of those options in depth, let's wrap up this video with a quick little kind of comparison breakdown in case you're on the fence between a couple different options. The cheapest out of all of these options is officially Curology. It's $20 a month. These other options are pretty comparable in price. It's not like you're going up a crazy amount of money, but if you want the cheapest option, that is Curology. The most expensive is probably going to end up being your dermatologist, especially when insurance doesn't cover it, because then you're also paying for that dermatologist visit. But if not, and if that's covered, and you get a prescription for acne, that could end up being a more affordable route because you're getting the bigger tube. Again, it all depends on your copays. But aside from that, if we exclude the derm, GoodRx actually ends up being more expensive than these other options. If the primary reason you're using tretinoin is for anti-aging, then the brand that has the best anti-aging ingredient / anti-aging formula, I would say is a tie between Apostrophe and Agency, because from both of those brands, you have access to Tret plus azelaic acid, niacinamide, and tranexamic acid. So the same ingredients from both. I think you can't go wrong with either. If acne is one of the main reasons why you're using tretinoin, then I think Apostrophe is probably going to be your best bet. I obviously have no way of knowing which ingredients are going to get rid of breakouts for you. So Curology may, have the ingredients that work for you, and then that is a great route to go down. But if not, Apostrophe does have some more options available, like for example, spironolactone that you can't get through Curology. So that may be something that ends up working better for you. The easiest option with the least amount of hassle out of all of these is going to be a tie between Curology, Apostrophe, and Agency, because it's the same process, same method, and it's so nice just having that shipped right to you. Versus the biggest hassle is going to be going to your dermatologist and then having to go pick up that prescription at the pharmacy. The last little category I will say though is that if you only want tretinoin, if you don't want these custom formulas, you want to be able to pick and choose the ingredients that you're using like that with other skincare products, then GoodRx is going to be the route that you want to go down, because you can get that usually a little bit cheaper than through your dermatologist, and you'll just get Tret and nothing else. All right, you guys, that is everything that I wanted to cover for this video. So we're going to wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments below if you're currently using one of these options for getting tretinoin, if you're happy with it, if you're thinking about switching to something else after watching this video. Let me know in the comments below. Because these are all prescription products, I can't link them in the way that I can other products, so I won't have them linked below, but I will have all of the options listed out for you so that you can look through that if you're curious. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really does help to support me, so I appreciate you so much. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would like to see from me next on this channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I love you guys. Stay tuned for my next video because that will be up in a few days, but until then, I hope you have a great few days.